The Mask of Normalcy, the Ted Bundy Story. In the 1970s, a wave of disappearances spread across the United States. College campuses, quiet neighborhoods, even crowded public spaces. No one knew where the victims were going or who was taking them. Witnesses described a man who didn't look dangerous. He was charming, intelligent, attractive, and that was the problem. Because behind that smile was one of the most calculated killers in American history. Ted Bundy was born in 1946. From the outside, his life appeared ordinary. But even early on, there were cracks beneath the surface. He was raised believing his grandparents were his parents and that his mother was his sister, a lie that would later unravel and some believe shape his identity. As he grew older, Bundy became obsessed with control, rejection, and power. He studied psychology, volunteered for political campaigns, even worked at a suicide hotline, ironically helping people in crisis. To everyone around him, he was normal. But behind closed doors, something darker was developing. In 1974, young women in Washington began to vanish. College students, smart, independent, gone without a trace. Witnesses reported a strange pattern. A man, sometimes with his arm in a sling, approaching women for help, asking them to carry books or load something into his car. His name? Ted. Authorities didn't realize it yet, but the killer was introducing himself to his victims. Bundy would lure women into a false sense of safety, then abduct them in broad daylight. What made it worse? He didn't fit the profile of a monster. He looked like someone you'd trust. As the months passed, the killings escalated. Bundy moved across states, Utah, Colorado, Florida, leaving a trail of victims behind him. He wasn't just killing, he was evolving, more brazen, more violent, breaking into homes, attacking victims while they slept. In one of his most shocking crimes, Bundy entered a Florida sorority house in 1978, attacking multiple women in a single night. It was no longer about opportunity, it was about compulsion. But even in custody, Bundy remained in control. He escaped, not once, but twice. The second escape was chilling. He simply disappeared from his jail cell, vanishing into the night. And within weeks, the killings resumed. This wasn't just a criminal. This was someone who believed he could outsmart the system entirely. Bundy's trial became a spectacle. For the first time, America saw a serial killer not as a shadow, but as a person. He acted as his own attorney, charmed the courtroom, even received fan mail. People couldn't reconcile what they were seeing. How could someone so composed be responsible for such horror? But the evidence was overwhelming, and the mask was finally slipping. In the final days before his execution, Bundy began to confess. Not out of remorse, but out of desperation. He admitted to dozens of murders. Some estimates suggest the true number may be even higher. His last interviews revealed a disturbing truth. There was no single moment that made him a killer. It was a progression, a slow descent into something he chose to become. Ted Bundy was executed in 1989, but his story still haunts people today. Not just because of what he did, but because of what he looked like. Normal, friendly, human. And that's what makes this case so unsettling. Because it forces a question we still don't fully understand. How well do we really know the people around us? If you want more deep dives into real cases like this, subscribe and stay tuned. Because some stories don't end when the case is closed.